Hey everybody, welcome back to our Neck of the Woods. Again, I hope everybody had a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. I hope everything is going well so far. But in today's video, I am going to show you what I bought myself for Christmas. All right, so first thing first, I was gone for about a week. I did go out for muzzleloader. I went down to our hunting cabin. My dad is in a hunting and fishing club and they own a cabin. So I went down there for muzzleloader and I did present him with his AR-15 build that I got for him in the 450 Bushmaster, presented it to him. He absolutely loved it. And more so, he did love the scope that was on it. So he's gonna leave it as is. He's not gonna change anything out or the red dot or anything. Our hunting cabin is close to a Cabela's, so we did go down there and get him a quick mount for a sling so that he can have whatever sling he wants to put on it. The A10 stock already has a back one, but we got something that basically can go in right here, and that way he can attach something and carry that out in the woods. We were not able to fire it, but he is gonna come down to the property here and we will shoot it here. We were busy muzzle loading, and I really don't like shooting down there anyway. While we don't want to obviously disturb the deer population, we want them to come to us and not actually run away. Unfortunately, I was not able to get a deer. I did have one in my sights, but since it was muzzle loader, the day before it was raining, and the day before that it was snowing very, very heavily, and I think my primer got wet, and even though I took it out every night and sat it inside on my dresser, unfortunately, I had one in my sights, pulled the trigger, and it just went click, and nothing happened. But I did fire it later when we were finished, and it did go off, so I don't know, is what it is, bad primer, but gotta roll with the punches on muzzleloader and do what the government says that we have to do. But anyway, what I got myself for Christmas is I was watching some videos a few weeks ago, and some guy had what looked like his son standing in front of him, and a grizzly bear was approaching. Somebody was recording from behind them, but he pulls out a firearm, and I'm like, you know what? If I'm ever in a grizzly bear situation, all the handguns that I have are 9mm. They are not going to work against a grizzly bear unless you are a dead-eye shot and get it in like the most perfect place in the world and actually be able to put it down. But when I saw him pull that out, I'm like, I don't have a real big handgun that I can call my own. So I jumped on the gun broker, searching a little bit. I knew what I wanted, but I didn't know what make and model, etc. until I basically found what I wanted in a price range, what I wanted, and this is what I ended up buying. So first off, caliber-wise, I ended up getting what would be considered at the time, at least in 1971 for Dirty Harry, the most powerful handgun in the world.
But Ian, this is a 44 Magnum, the most powerful handgun in the world, and would blow your head clean off. You've got to ask yourself one question. Do I feel lucky? Well, do you, punk?
And that is a 44 Magnum. Now, that is no longer the case in 2023. There are much bigger guns and calibers out there than just a 44 Magnum. But I ended up picking up this Taurus tracker in this beautiful matte black finish. It is a 5-round revolver handgun in double action and single action. Nice rubberized grip, and I even love the fact that it has these ports on top, 4 on this side, 4 on this side to actually help with like muzzle rise and control, because a 44 Magnum really isn't no slouch for a slug. Now, unfortunately, because this is a 4-inch barrel, I am not allowed to hunt deer with this in the state of Ohio, but it's not really what I got it for anyway. But if you did have a 5-inch barrel, this would be an appropriate caliber because it's 357 Magnum or larger, up to a 50 cal straight wall cartridge that you are allowed to use for deer in Ohio, and that would meet the stipulations because obviously a handgun is a straight walled cartridge, although there are 1 or 2 out there that are not. But being a 44, it's right there in between 357 and 50 caliber, that again, it would meet the requirements. Just not the long enough barrel, but I don't really care about that anyway. Now, just to compare that real quick, the other reason why I got the 44 Magnum is because if you are gonna go out and shoot a lot or reload, you don't actually have to shoot 44 Magnum in it. You can actually get away with shooting 44 Special. Now, there's not too much of a difference in terms of like overall looks and everything between the Special and the Magnum. If you actually compare the cartridges, you're only looking about maybe 1/8 of an inch, if that, in length. But there is a difference in how much powder you put in these. In fact, the 2 rounds that I ended up getting, so that I can compare like kind of an apples to apples, these are both 240 grain projectiles. So that is a very, very large slug going down range. In fact, my dad's 450 Bushmaster, I bought him 250 grains. And what I hunt with my 44 Marlin, I'm shooting 265. So they're all relatively right there in like weight size. But to compare these again, they're both 240 grain. These are the Hornady Customs. So this is what I would actually be carrying. It is obviously a defense load. It is a hollow point, but these Magtex, these are low recoil, basically 44 specials. So if you actually listen, there is room in here that there's not a lot of powder in here, hence the low recoil. So this would be a very cheap round to reload. You don't have to waste a lot of money putting in tons of powder and making these like plus P loads, etc. You can make them very low recoil. But then the Hornady, there's no room in there at all. So this might actually be kind of like a plus or plus P round for defense. So super penetrating, super hard hitting, way more than what the 44 Special can do. But again, I like that versatility. I like that I can put 2 different rounds in this gun and shoot it. And again, that makes just more makes for a cheaper, more enjoyable shooting experience. Now to compare it, I only have 9mm handguns. I've got several, but just to compare the difference between a 115 grain full metal jacket between a 44 Magnum, I mean, we're talking night and day. 115 grain versus 240 grain. Full metal jacket, which of course in defense loads, I do have some Hydroshocks and I do have some hollow points in 9mm. I believe 124 grain, but nothing's gonna hit as hard as basically that guy right there. That's just in an insane heavy, huge round. But we are gonna go outside, we are gonna shoot a couple. I'm gonna put like basically a 44 Special and then a Magnum, then a Special, then a Magnum. See the difference in recoil and how much power this thing has to see if these holes actually do help with muzzle rise. See how big of a fireball there is between the difference with the 44 Magnum versus a Special. I don't imagine there being much out of the 44 Special because, again, it is a low recoil round. So not a lot of powder, a lot of room in that cartridge. So that should make for a pretty enjoyable shooting experience. But this guy right here, yeah. We're gonna go outside and we're gonna test that here in a little bit. Now, before we go out there, it is like 0 degrees right now. RV's frozen again. Polar storms coming in and freezing the entire country right now. But I did want to show you guys something real quick. This has been a long time in the making. I finally got around to just throwing something up on our vault door, or our secret vault door, so you guys can finally understand how it's going to be hidden in the closet. And I basically just went with this wainscoting here with some 1x4s. And as you can see, the top is completely hidden. Every corner down is completely hidden. We still have to do the trim down here, but we're waiting on when we get the carpet installed. And this bedroom is almost completely done, but I'm not gonna show you that until I actually show you the bedroom finished video. But carpet is on the way. We've got doors on the way for here, the closet and the bedroom over here. And very soon, since it is so warm down here in the basement, which I know a lot of people always say 68 degrees is not warm. Trust me, in an ICF house with radiant floor, 68, I'm sweating talking to you guys right now. It is freaking hot down here in the basement. But since we do have the HRV running and it is blowing fresh air, it is a little colder out here in the bedroom than it is in the sealed vault, because that fresh air coming in from outside when it's 0 degrees, it is actually blowing cold air down in here. Not 0 degree air, because the HRV does mix the temperatures from when it leaves. It mixes from when it comes in, but it does make the bedroom more enjoyable. That if we throw our master bedroom or our master bed in here, it will be very nice to maybe get a first night's sleep here in the house. But we've got to finish staining, painting. We're gonna just paint those wood boards, finish off all the nail holes and everything with the wood filler that I did. And then I still gotta get more guns up here on the wall. I still gotta get more little Gallo-Tech things so that I can actually hang like all my handguns and stuff. And then again, once that bedroom's done, I'm actually gonna break this room down and not actually have the TV and everything in here and like this gaming chair. We need to like get this out of here and get an office going. And again, just get more knickknacks on the wall and officially finish this vault out all together so that I can have my reloading station back. And that way we can have some fun this summer with plinking around. But hang tight, I'm gonna get suited up. Again, it is 0 degrees outside right now. Hopefully the camera will last. We're gonna shoot this puppy. I'm gonna give you my impressions and then we'll wrap it up from there. So hang tight. Right, we don't have a lot of time. Like I said, GoPros hate cold. In fact, they hate heat. They hate everything actually. But first 4 shots, we're gonna do 44 special, then Magnum, then special, then Magnum. We're gonna see if there's any difference at all. So wow, not really anything at all with the special. Very little kick, very little recoil. All right, 44 Magnum. Ooh. Yeah, that's a difference. That is a big difference. 44 special, nothing. 44 Magnum. Oh. Holy crap. My dad laughed at me for a 4-inch barrel and I was like, oh, that's nothing. It's got porting on it. You won't feel it at all. Yeah, bull crap. All right, so 5 rounds of 44 special. Gonna see what double action feels like. That hammer is very, very light on single action, but just dry firing on double action, this is probably a good, like, I don't know, it feels like an 8 or 9 pound trigger. It is very, very heavy. But the single action is very enjoyable. It's only got maybe like a 2 or 3 pound trigger pull, it feels like. Ooh, what was that? Try that one again. Failure to fire on cheap loads. Oh, there it went. Let's try that one more time. MagTech 44 specials, kind of rapid fire. Let's see if they'll all go off. There they went. Okay. All right, getting these out is harder and harder. The gun feels like it's freezing up, or the metal shrinking, but the brass in my pocket is staying warm and expanded. All right, 5 more 44 special. See if they all go off again. Oh yeah. Definitely getting harder to extract though. All right, I'm going to regret this. 5 rounds. Don't know if I'll go back to back to back, but 44 Magnum. Oh boy. Ouch. Ow. 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 Holy crap. That is not something you want to be downrange on. All right, last thing, I do have 5 more. I want to see about accuracy. This does have screws for up and down, or right and left. We're gonna try and get some headshots over here on this silhouette that I think's like 12 by 18 and see if we have to do any adjusting. Yeah, we got to do a little bit of adjusting. I think all 5 of those were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I was aiming in here and then adjusted my windage. So kind of went down when I was adjusting my windage, but they're all relatively close together, but we do have to go a little bit right or left, and we do have to go a little bit up. All right, everybody, there you have it. The Taurus tracker in 44 Magnum with a 4-inch barrel. My dad was definitely right. I'm assuming a 6-inch or even like an 8-inch barrel might help a little bit, but definitely feel it like right about there, right in like kind of the webbing of my finger where it just absolutely punches you. Not trying to be a baby either, but wow, that is definitely a difference between those. That 44 special feels like really nothing, no more than maybe like a 9mm. And again, maybe that's because of the porting up here, but holy crap, what a difference. And I don't know who these MagTechs are, but that does kind of suck having one failure to fire, but bringing it around again. It was able to fire a second time around, but I will definitely not be reloading 44 Magnums myself. I will just go ahead and purchase a box and leave them sit forever. As for the 44 specials, I think I will be reloading these. May even load a little bit less powder, just in case I want to go out there and have some fun and plank around and shoot. Again, I will see how difficult it is to adjust these set screws here. Hopefully it's just a quick little like click, click on these flathead screws here. Hopefully they turn over quite easy just to adjust the sights just a hair. Just need to go up just a little bit and a little bit up to the left. But overall, not bad. Gun, very affordable. It's not that expensive. Some Smith & Wessons, and I seen some other manufacturers. There was an older Smith & Wesson on Gunbroker. It was going for like $2,000. The regular Smiths, I think, were just over $1,000. And I can't remember what I paid now off the top of my head, but just looking at online, it looks like they're currently going for about $500 starting bids. Here's one called the Hunter in an 8-inch barrel going for $829. So yeah, a lot more, but yeah, I think it was right around $500 that I paid, plus $25 to do a title transfer, and I believe it was credit card and shipping was for free. So not a bad little Christmas present for myself, but definitely I think a hell of a defense load if you actually did need it. But there you have it, guys. That's my review of the Taurus. Let me know if you guys want to see any more reviews. Let me know if you guys want to see what I actually own. Go out there and shoot. One video I do want to do is people always bitch and complain that you shouldn't leave magazines loaded. These magazines right here in my plate carrier, they have been loaded for almost 10 years. So it would be interesting to see if I pull those out and to see if every single one of them will shoot all the way till the magazine is completely empty. But let me know if you guys want to see something like that. Comment down below. But until then, that's all I got for you guys. Until next time, take care.